Bruno Fernandes cannot be stopped. This man, with all the criticism people try and give him, time and time again, he delivers for Manchester United. And he's done it again today. Manchester United 4, Istanbul, Başakşehir 1. Just one more point needed to qualify from this group of death. Yes, guys, it's finished. Manchester United 4, Istanbul, Başakşehir 1. For 9 points from 4 games. I know we should have got a point at least. We should have really beat them in Istanbul, but we didn't. It is what it is. We got the job done today. We just need 1 point from either the PSG game or the Leipzig game. Hopefully, the sooner the better. The sooner we can qualify from this group, the better. It means we can, of course, we want to top the group as well, but we can make sure we can rotate and focus also on the Premier League and other competitions. So the sooner we get it done, the better. But the boys got the job done today. Of course, after the West Brom game, there was dissenting voices in terms of the performance. Understandably, the team selection to an extent, I understand, but I don't get caught up in team selections too much anymore. For me, the onus is on the players who are selected because our squad is so good. The onus is on those players to put in the performance, and today they did it. Some people would say, "Oh yeah, that's the game that we needed. That's a team that we should have played against." West Brom, it wasn't, but it's a team we played today, and boy, did those players perform. I mean, going forward, these players were, for me, they were unstoppable going forward. We could have scored more than the 4 that we actually got. We took our foot off the gas a bit after we went 3-0 up. We made a lot of substitutions to rest players for upcoming games, but for me, it was a complete attacking performance. I think defensively, there leaves a bit to the desired. The midfield two of Fred and Van der Beek, for me, worked going forward. Defensively, as I said, against better opposition, maybe it's not going to work. But I'm not going to focus on that because today, from against the opposition that we came up against, this was the perfect team and it was a good performance, the perfect result that we needed to make sure that the qualifying from this group is firmly in our hands. You know, PSG got a win today against Leipzig, so we're sitting on 9 points. Them and Leipzig are sitting on 6 points. So the pressure's all on them. The pressure is on those teams to win their next 2 games. That's what they actually need to win the next 2 games because we're playing them both. So a draw for us sends us through. They can't guarantee that Istanbul's going to take anything from the one or the other. So they have to get the result. They have to put in the performance. But as far as we go, we put in a performance today. And I mean, Bruno Fernandes, as I said, people talking about Fernandes, always trying to bring up his faults, what he doesn't do. You know, his passing is off, his decision making, he rushes the play. But what he does do is time and time again deliver. He delivers goals and assists. That's what he does. We've been crying out for it. We're crying out for it at the start of last season. Since he's come in, I think he's got 34 goal contributions, goals and assists for Man United in 35 games. What more can you ask for? And to get off the mark with that goal. And I mean, we had a couple of opportunities before the goal. Rashford in the second minute went on that amazing run where I'm thinking possible, but he decides to take it on and he gets his shot away and it's blocked by the defender from about 7 yards out. That would have been a brilliant goal. Martial coming off the left. He goes an amazing run and tries to cut it back for Rashford. That was blocked out. And then from a corner, the ball falls to Bruno on the edge of the area. And for me, I thought it was going over the bar. I thought he's hit that the half volley, he's going to go over the bar. But the way he struck it and the angle right into the roof of the net, it was past the keeper before he knew it. Past the keeper before he knew it. Brilliant goal. What our initial play deserved. And we got another one. Telles was whipping those balls in. Cavani's movement. It left the goalkeeper and the defenders all at sea. Bruno Fernandes there to tap into an open net 2-0. And the game was comfortable. And for me, at that point, it was just a matter of how many are we going to score at that time. And we got another one. Brilliant ball over the top from back to front from Victor Lindelof. Marcus Rashford playing on the right-hand side today. And we're going to go more into the formation in a little bit. Playing off the right-hand side. Gets the ball. And this is after actually had a goal disallowed for offside. Just offside. Brilliant interplay at the edge of the area between Van der Beek and Bruno. Picks on the ball. Cuts inside the defender. Gets the contact. Goes down. steps up and slots away his penalty. The penalty that Bruno actually gave to him. But Bruno was on for a hat-trick. Bruno could have said, "No, I want my first Man United hat-trick, a Champions League hat-trick," which obviously Rashford got against Leipzig in the second game of the group. But Bruno, being the leader that he is, and I think he said afterwards, "Well, you know what? I gave Rashford the penalty because I said to him after he missed against West Brom after the league game, I know he scored at the second time of Racing. He said, I said I'm going to give Rashford the penalty," and he gave Rashford the penalty and slotted it away. But I want to get into the team lineup, to be honest, because as I said, it's a team that we wanted to see, or attacking team anyway. And we went with this 4-2-3-1 that Solskjaer likes to play. And the question has always been, how do we get the best players in the best positions into our starting 11? We've got a lot of good midfielders. Pogba was out today, so that kind of forced his hand. McTominay was also out. So he had less to choose from. Of course, he could have gone with Matic, but as I said, it's a must-win game against a weaker opposition. Let's be honest, a weaker opposition who we should never have lost to in that first game. These guys had to go out and put in a performance, especially after the poor performance against West Brom. And he went out with attacking lineup. You know, Fred as the most defensive of that midfield. Van der Beek controlling, and he was marvelous today. He barely put a foot wrong. He had an 88% pass completion rate from about 64 passes. Didn't lose the ball in dangerous areas, which is the most important thing when you're playing in that defensive pivot. Bruno Fernandes was absolutely brilliant. As I said, the link-up play, the one-touch passing that Van der Beek likes, the pass and move, and Bruno likes the same thing, pass and move, pass and move. And they executed absolutely brilliantly. And then you had the pace and the directness of Rashford and Martial. And that's the thing. Rashford and Martial are forwards, are strikers, but they're not lone strikers. Because as a lone striker, there's certain attributes you need. And Martial does it better than Rashford in terms of holding up the ball, linking play, and give and go. But you take away their best attributes, which is picking up the ball and running at defenders. And when you play them in the wide positions, they can do that. When you've got a player like Cavani and possibly, in the future, Mason Greenwood, who are natural number 9s, who don't mind making that run and not getting the ball, making that run and keep making that run until that ball comes. That's their bread and butter. They don't mind doing that. As someone like a Marcus Rashford or Martial who's playing through the middle, after about 2 runs, they're going to get bored. They're going to get frustrated. They're going to come deep to pick up the ball. Cavani's not going to do that. And his intent on playing on the shoulder and stretching the play as much as he could open up the space for Bruno and Van der Beek to operate in the middle and allowed Rashford and Martial to do what they do best. And I spoke about the 2 runs that they made earlier, running at the defense and putting pressure on them. And they were doing that throughout the game. There was a chance right at the end of the first half where Rashford probably should have released Cavani earlier. By the time he tried to give it to Cavani, the defender came in to block it. But that's when you get the best out of these 2 players, when they're running at defenders. And of course, we've spoken about the need for a right winger. And none of these players are right wingers by trade. We don't have a natural senior right winger in the squad. But why can't Rashford do it? If Greenwood can do it, I know it's a case of him cutting inside. But if it's a case of getting the best players on the pitch, why not put Rashford out there? Why not allow them to rotate? Because when Greenwood came on, he was out on the right. Then he moved inside and Cavani was out there. Dan James came on later and he's on the left. We have a lot of options that we can do. So we don't have to stick to it and say, Martial is the striker, Cavani is the backup. No, we can put Martial on the left because he's more than adept at doing that job. And, I liked it. I really like it. What I also liked was the fact that when you got someone like Cavani, who I said always makes that run, he's always looking for the ball in, whether it's through the middle, whether it's a cross out wide. It allows someone like Telles, who created the most chances today, 4 in total, putting 11 crosses himself. That option is always there, and you put the cross in, and something's going to fall. Generally, when we're playing one of those 2 up front as a lone striker, we don't have enough people in the box to allow the fullbacks or the wingers to put a cross into the box and put the ball in the mixer, percentage ball, and something can happen, which happened today. So I like the way we play. I know we're not going to play this way every single game. It's not necessary. I don't have a problem with it. But I think this is a real option going forward. Martial, Rashford, and Cavani. And Greenwood as an option either on the right or through the middle. I think it's a very, very good attacking quartet that we've got at our disposal. Happy for Dan James today. Came off the bench and got his first Champions League goal. He played with a little bit more confidence than I've seen in recent weeks. Maybe the international break and the goals that he got, the goal and the assist that he got over the international break gave him a bit more confidence. Of course, winning 3-0, 3-1 allows you to play with a bit more shackles off as opposed to the pressure of starting a game, being forced to be the one to win the game. And he got his goal today, which I'm happy about. Greenwood, as I said, he came on and he looked like he was rushing it, forcing it. He wanted to get that goal. And there was a few times when he probably should have squared it to Cavani or who else was in the box to get more goals. And he finally, at the end of the game, he made the right decision to actually square the ball for Dan James to slot in. My only issue with the game is going forward. I said the game. I think defensively we were a bit shaky. It was pretty much end to end, if we're going to be honest. They weren't creating clear-cut opportunities time and time again, but they were creating a lot of openings. The back, I would say 3 out of the back 4, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and Maguire, they weren't great defensively today. Tellez, I think he was very good, but those 3 weren't great defensively. And against better opposition, they will be punished. Now, I know, as I said, you take each game as it comes. So today is the opposition. You do what you have to do. Not tomorrow, on the weekend, we play Southampton. Maybe he's going to go with 2 defensive midfielders, Fred and Matic, or Fred and McTominay in the middle, because they're going to offer more of a threat than Istanbul did, or Istanbul would, or we feel that we're more confident that we can outscore them in the Champions League than we would Southampton in the Premier League. So maybe things will change going forward. Maybe there was a bit more of a carefree, shackles off approach today, which I'm not sure we're going to see game to game. But that midfield 2 of Fred and Van der Beek worked on the ball, off the ball. It didn't. And in the end, we had to actually bring on Matic for Martial to just solidify the game, because we were conceding chance. We conceded a goal from the free kick. They hit the bar. David De Gea made a couple of good saves. It wasn't all plain sailing at the back. I think he's going to revert to maybe a Matic and Fred, or McTominay and Fred in future games. Or maybe he's going to ask Van der Beek to be a bit more disciplined defensively in terms of being in a defensive position. But on the ball, he was brilliant. Didn't lose the ball, as I said. The need for a proper defensive midfielder anchorman is still there. Even with a midfield performance today, you still need that. Someone who can really marshal that midfield by himself, which we don't have. So I'm talking about athletically, positionally, and discipline-wise. We still don't have that. We've got an amalgamation of the 3 with Matic, Fred, and McTominay, but we need one person who can kind of do the job that all 3 of them can do individually, which will allow us to play Van der Beek and Bruno, or Pogba and Bruno, or Pogba and Van der Beek, whichever combination you want, time and time again. Red Devil Studio, big up yourself. Brilliant win today. It was 4-1. Can't ask for much more than that. Of course, a clean sheet would have been good, but it was a free kick. Good free kick. I'm not blaming David De Gea for it at all. It was a good quality free kick, which he was just crossed the line before David De Gea was able to get down for it. And we move forward. 1 more point needed from the last 2 games, which I'm confident of getting. I'm confident of, we beat both of the teams. Obviously, Paris Saint-Germain away, Leipzig at home, we battered them. And PSG ain't on no great form. They lost to Monaco on the weekend. They won today courtesy of a penalty, 1-0 against Leipzig. So they're not coming into this any great form. So we have to be confident at home to get a point at least against PSG and put us through in what most people say the group of death. For me, man of the match today, Bruno Fernandes. Van der Beek a close second. He didn't get goal or assist in his name, but there's sometimes a lot more to football depending on your position than that. Honorary shout out to Cavani. I think he played as a proper number 9 today. One that we don't see on a regular basis. And even without a goal, even without an assist, I can see the benefits of having a proper number 9 who's willing to make those unselfish runs to allow the others behind. And, we saw against Everton, he got his goal. And if he plays more games in that position, he's going to get his goals, because we are going to create chances. That's no doubt in my mind. And the look of that front 3, Rashford, Martial, and Cavani, it must put some fear into opposition. It can't not do it. How often can we get that team playing? How many games a season can Cavani play? We have to wait and see. But I liked what I saw today, and I hope we can see more of it in the future. I'm not going to get too much into, why is that person playing? Why is this person playing? As I said at the beginning, it's about the players, the 11 players on the pitch, going out and doing the job. And today, they did the job they had to do. We got the 3 points we needed, and we go on to Southampton on the weekend, where, again, it's just a must-win. These games are coming thick and fast, and we just have to keep picking up wins after wins after wins. We're 3 wins in a row, which is the first time we've done that this season so far. Hopefully, we can extend that. But guys, thanks for joining me for the match review. Manchester United 4, Istanbul 1. We topped the group of death. 1 point needed from the last 2 games. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you lot soon.